for all.
And call this meeting to order. Then pledge of allegiance. Next thing on it is to approve and adopt the agenda.
Move to approve and adopt the agenda.
Is there a second?
I second.
The agenda has been adopted and approved. Consideration and approval of the April 16, 2025 regular board minutes.
I move to approve the minutes from meeting from April 16th.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the board minutes for the April 16th board meeting. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Consideration and approval of the June 11, 2025 special board meeting minutes.
Mr. Vice President, I move that we approve the June 11, 2025 special board meeting minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the June 11, 2025 special board meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. They're approved. Limited public forum. The Board of Education welcomes public comments during the visitors portion of the school board meeting agenda. All comments must be related to the topic on the agenda for that particular meeting. The public comment section of the agenda will be the only time the board takes any questions or comments from the public unless we, as a board, choose to solicit more information from a person or group attending the meeting on the matter specific to the agenda.
Nobody signed up, board president? I mean, board vice president, no one signed up, so.
Is there anybody?
I don't have anybody in the chat thus far.
Okay.
Do you have to wait a certain time, or it doesn't matter?
I usually wait just a little bit because there's a slight delay, just in case. But I never get anything, so we should be good.
We only had one this year.
It didn't pertain to the agenda.
Is there anybody online?
Not one person's watching?
There's 4 people watching, but nobody's commenting.
Us?
There is 4 people watching, correct.
Okay, so we'll move on to the superintendent's report. Mr. Rumble.
Okay, board vice president and members of the board, it's a short and sweet one. Everything's going so far very good here at Clayton. We're down still looking for a cheer, and I think we've got now 2 candidates that's applied. Then a social worker, we did accept the resignation from Ms. Wales, so we're looking for a social worker. That also, we're still looking for a high school counselor, which I think I've been interviewing with one, so I know by Friday that person's really gonna take it, and then that's all the positions we'll be filling.
Great.
So we're
Good
excited
news.
about that. Sports is going good this summer. Like I said, I was there this morning. We had 12 kids at 7 o'clock football practice. And then the girls went to play yesterday. Monday. Today's Wednesday. Went Monday, and they did well. And the boys are playing today at Des Moines. And I just was informed that they lost their first game by 1 point. And that was mostly junior high students that are playing there for that. So that's pretty impressive.
So no high school boys are coming in this stuff?
Yes.
There was 3 that went today.
Yeah, there's.
The rest were junior.
That's ridiculous.
And then this morning, out of 12, there were 4 upperclassmen, of the 12 that showed up this morning for football. And then just a reminder, Thursday, tomorrow, start at 6 o'clock, they're doing kick, punt, pass. And after that, they're gonna do 5-on-5 at the football field, and the coaches got someone to take care of, they're gonna serve watermelon. And that's because they were going somewhere and that fell through. So
Springfield, Colorado.
Right, and that fell through, so he said, let's just have our own. So they're doing that tomorrow, and I think we'll have a good turnout of students that he's got coming for that. And then, we've approved, there's a baseball camp, 10th and 11th, excited about that. And then we have a basketball camp coming up.
Yeah, we have one for the, what is it?
Well, it's Bryson, I don't know what his last name is. Bryson Kendrick, yeah, he's coming from Dallas. And the Pee Wee basketball league's putting it on, and it's K through 12,
That's
3
good.
days.
That's good, so we're excited about that, and anything else I hear about, I'll be sure and get it out to the workers or the community.
That's
But it's
July.
gonna be great.
Coach Kimball's trying to get the dates for, there's another guy coming from Houston, to do a camp just for my girls though.
That's
Just
still
8,
good.
9. It's on the 8th, 9th, and 10th.
July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd is that Pee Wee basketball. Well, I mean, it's, Pee Wee basketball's putting it on, but it's for anybody, and even out of town people, and I think it's $35 for out of town. It's free for any kid in CMS.
That's
But-
excellent.
Do kids have to sign up at the front desk, or do they?
Yes,
just
there
show
is a
up?
sign-up sheet. Yes, and I can get you one if you want,
I bet I can find
or I'll
one.
share one or something.
That's excellent. So that's all on the superintendent's report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Board communications,
I just have a report from our committee that met, to talk about our, graduation requirements that the board would like to require. Our committee met a couple weeks ago, and we would like to, recommend that our 2 classes that we require as a school board, one be a service learning course, where we actually require some volunteer hours. And that there is a course, already in the course codes that will fit that bill. And then we'd also like to, recommend that the other option be a choice of either, dual credit or CTE or work-based learning. So kids can choose from a menu of those options. But we felt like all of those classes would be important and to prepare them for life in the real world, all those things. So don't know what steps we would need to take, Mike, do we need to vote on that, or?
it'll be on the agenda, have to be on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay,
Put on July's board meeting.
but I guess in the meantime, we need to make sure, as far as the service learning goes, that that is required for next year, and then we already are offering the others, so.
That's good, so we did that. Then we'll also put our science textbook on it. I need y'all to approve the science, but I'll find out for sure from our science teachers what textbook they want to present to the board to adopt. So we get that taken care of. So those 2 things would go, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is the financial matters, consideration and approval of the financial report.
Good evening, Mr. Vice President, members of the board. I provided the same as usual, the bank statements for May, and then I also have the summary page on here, as well as the disbursement detail. And if you guys have any questions on that?
I'd entertain a motion to approve the financial report.
Mr. Vice President, I move to approve the financial report.
A second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the financial report. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Motion passes. Consideration and approval of bars and transfers.
I do have a few bars on there that we've been trying to get a switch over with him and Mr. Maestas, so it's been kind of tough, but there's some on there for you guys to approve. And I put a screenshot at the bottom of the summary page of what the bars are for.
Any questions?
Mr. Vice President, I move that we approve the bars and transfers.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we approve the bars and transfers. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Action items. A, consideration and approval of complement ed contract.
Can you tell us about this a little bit, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, this is, Estes.
Essence,
Okay, this is the lady that used to work for PAD, and now she works independent. We hired her last year, she's gonna help us again. It's to make sure that all of our courses and everything we do in NOVA and stuff is compliant with the state and the federal guidelines. So she sent a contract, and it's the same as last year's, and she works really well with us because she knows the power school system. And I'm used to, of course, Skyward, and we hired a person just similar to this that helped us, that was excellent. So I think we just need her, we're asking this contract for only 1 year. I think after that, we'll have everything in the state, and our courses and how we're doing our students, because it's very important that we code this right, so we can get our funding as much as possible out of the state. So I'm recommending for us to approve this contract.
Mr. Vice President, I move that we approve the complement ed contract.
second.
Been moved and seconded that we approve the company aid contract. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. B, consideration and approval of the Axiom Financial Service Contract.
Okay, now presenting this to, this is a person I know that can help us, and it's a very good contract and will help us make it through the year and give us time to try to find and recruit somebody to be the business manager, and they'll help train and work with the staff I have since we're losing this young man June 30th. So I think this person is gonna be very, very good, so the contract is in there, just you to look at it, and it's very good.
Mr. Holmes, how will that work on the day-to-day, just not having someone in person?
Well, this
I'm
person
concerned
right there,
about
he
that
meets
also.
with us, he meets with me weekly. So Zoom will come to our board meetings. This person will also, all week, we have to still key everything into Visions, which he had access to it. We still do our purchase orders, we do all that, but before we key them in, he looks at them to make sure we coded it right. And then he's also will look and see what other funds were possible, because he knows all the funds in the state and possibly all the grants that we can use, because if there's, we've got some grant money we haven't used the last few years that he's already found, that he's gonna cover for us coming up, so it's, I think it's gonna be really, they teach us, also, like my office staff, we've already met 1, 2, 3, 4 of us, with him, and we have another meeting, next week.
Wednesday?
Yeah, next Wednesday, we'll go through it again. So he's gonna work with us closely. So it's gonna, I think it's a very good situation. We're still in charge, we're still gonna pay the bills and run the checks here. But before we do any of that, he will look at it, approve it, and then send it to me, approve, and he'll meet with me every week.
Is it putting, duties on, extra duties on the office staff?
It's the scanning and the coding, so I've got a position that I put out there, a data clerk, that I'm trying to hire, so that way they can do all this. So we have to scan it, but you have to scan it anyway when you send it in to get your reimbursements, comes from grant money. But we'll be scanning everything, our deposits, anything we do.
So you're hiring another?
Yeah, so we're hiring an office person that can come in and answer phones and help me, and then do all of the, hopefully do a lot of the inputting and do the
Coding part.
coding. Well, that's what's gonna help us is if I take one of my staff members a PO, then they put it in, but you need someone else to check it. So really, we're gonna have more than a double check system, not a triple check system, because he'll look at it before we ever, finalize it. I'll make sure that it's exactly right. And then he wants to train us so that we don't, and then hopefully we'll get somebody who there'll be more than one person that knows the system, not losing backwards, that's what we're trying.
At your past schools, have you used something like this before?
Yes, well, I've used this person. I used a service that didn't work for us because they paid our bills, they were kind of late on it. And I said, you can't do that. Well, then they hired this young man, he came in, and he helped who I worked with, and he had us, within 30 days, he showed us how to recode and got us one money out of the state. He's pretty sharp about that. And then we worked closely, and then I met with him once a week then. It's as long as we had a description of what everybody had to do. So they're doing it. They usually don't do what they're doing for us. They usually do like just grants. Like they do all your RFRs. They like doing things like that. He's gonna help us do our whole operation through it until we know we're comfortable of doing it. He gave us a pretty good price because we're losing not just one person, but another lady's been helping us with what we can.
Why is that? Because this is.
Well, we've had some grant money out there that we've not spent, that we've already been approved. We need somebody telling us, and that's not the business manager's fault, because those are grants that we got approved by the state, and you guys start spending them. And you should have somebody that helps you to say, hey, you've got $28,000 left. You've got to spend it before May 30th. And this person will do that. Because that's what they do for other schools, for big schools and small. So the last person just really, we already have a good payroll person. And he asked, our payroll's going good. They've been paying the bills and things like that, so it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good for us to get 1 year to find us the person that come to the district that we can just, I think this person you'll see is very sharp. He's worked with our principal that's coming in. So he even vouched that it's think he's gonna be very good for Clayton. And he doesn't wanna come here and be here for 3 or 4 years, he wants to come here to get somebody, he knows the best person is on-site person. So he's gonna help us. So hopefully during the year, I'm gonna keep the business manager position posted. So we can find somebody, trying to find somebody that has experience, and that's hard to do.
I'm concerned about the business manager position, and maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree, but it's like, we start over and over and over and over again. And are we better off to hire like a firm like this full-time than to do, like, even look for a business manager?
You can, but it's like he said, it's so hard when they're, like he's in, Clovis, that's where he resides. It's so hard, but he said he can make a board meetings, or at least it will Zoom and stuff, and he explains it very well. But I mean, you can do that, it would just be better for us to have somebody here. I just think it works really well. If we gotta find somebody to stay here longer than a couple of years, 'cause I know I only did one.
I mean, there's two 1 years right there.
And I'll go out and
Don't
I'll
have
go
to
to
look very
the, I say it in front of all the superintendents of the state of New Mexico, the hardest job is not the superintendent of the state of New Mexico, the hardest job is the business manager. And it's a lot of work. But, we do have some good support, like, Cassie helps a lot, and Priscilla, and, Tim, we do have some good support here. So if we get all them trained more and more, we can get somebody else in here. So my goal is really to find somebody that will come in, that's got some experience in the state. And that's our goal, to get somebody that will stay here more than a couple of years, someone will stay long term. But the average superintendent in New Mexico is 2.7, and the average business manager is 1.3. So we gotta do something.
Gotta get those numbers
We
up.
gotta get them up. So that's my recommendation as far as to go with him this year, and see how it goes.
And then can I motion to approve the Axiom Financial Service contract?
Vice President, I move that we approve the Axiom Financial Services contract.
We moved and seconded that we approve the Axiom Financial contract. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Motion passes. Consideration and approval of the 25-26 stipend schedule.
Okay, I met with the committee today, and we all, an hour and 40 minutes, and I think we came up with a great plan, and great, if y'all look this over. This is a recommendation that I'm bringing to you from the committee that we put together, and I think we should be one of the top stipends in this area, because some school districts, they won't be posted, because we're going above it. But I think this is very fair. If you look at this, this is a fair, and we can come up with the money to do this, and pay our people, then maybe keep them long term. Did I miss something?
These aren't the same.
No, they just finished this one.
This,
The one that's in the folder is the one that they, gave me,
I know, but the one on
Monday?
the agenda is not the same. The one you click on
yes.
is not
yeah,
the same.
that's not, is this one, because this is the, I had to go in and change.
Oh, okay.
We're approving this one, we're not approving that one. We're
Okay,
approving-
Yeah.
I didn't want someone to look back and then like.
Yes.
No,
everybody
no,
gets a
we're
pay
gonna put
cut.
this in the board
Yeah.
packet. We're
I'll
gonna
remove
put
that one and add this
I
one.
apologize.
You're fine,
No,
you're
no, I'm
fine.
glad you asked that, because we wanna make sure our packet, after the board meeting, we put away, this is the one I'm recommending, the one that's in front of you. This is what the committee came.
Sorry about that.
So this
No,
one-
you're good.
No, I'm glad we wanna make sure and keep our paperwork right.
I mean,
Mr. Vice President,
are you you're gonna post this?
After it's board approved,
Need to brag about it. Okay, cool. Mr. Vice President, I move that we approve the 2025-2026 stipend schedule.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the 25-26 stipend schedule. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. D, consideration and approval of the 25-26 bus contract.
you have the contracts there, and of course, they've already been signed, because I had to get them to the state last week. But, we got awarded the exact same amount, no, it might have been $1,000 more. But we got awarded, so I already talked to both contractors, and I've talked to our new director. And, this is a good, they're excited, because they're going to 4 days, they're still getting the money. It's the next year they'll go down 150 or something.
And they understand that.
They did understand that. I made sure both contractors and of course our new person. So this is a good deal. And we sat down and hammered out the hours and stuff, that like we'll drop off at the high school at 7:25, Junior high 7:30 and elementary 7:35. Everybody will be in instructional classroom by 8, and then we pick up at 3:45, 3:50, 4 o'clock. So we get our time in, we still have, with our calendar year approved, we still have 2 extra days on there. If something happens during the year, we don't have to make those 2 days up. And we have 2 remote days, we still have availability to do 2 remote days, 1 each semester. So this is, the bus transportation looks very good since they basically gave us the same amount.
How are we looking for, bus drivers? I heard that we were gonna lose some bus drivers, and how's that going?
So far, she said, all of our bus drivers are coming back.
Who's our new transportation?
Gail Jeffrey. Gail
Jeffrey.
Oh,
I say it right, Jeffrey.
Mhm.
And then Mr. Victory
Gail
drives the other route
Miranda.
of the person that lives out towards the lake.
She's a girl version of Paul.
Sweet. We need a girl version of Paul. Well, I mean, we need Paul, but if we can't have Paul.
No, she is.
And she's been driving CDL for 30 years.
Awesome.
So she's very experienced.
Great. Great.
Mr. Vice President, I move to approve the 25-26 bus contract.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded, we approve the 25-26 bus contract. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. E, consideration and approval of the board election.
We have 2 coming up this year, and I'll read it. It's, Mr. Barnes is up for re-election, his position, and so is the board president, Ms. Leal. So we have to make it approved by the board so we can get it on the election and get it to the county. So that's just, it explains in there that we've got 2 spots available that people can start registering if they want to run for the election.
Well, sorry.
Go ahead.
Mr. Vice President, I move that we approve, the approval of a board election, Okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that, to approve the approval of the board election. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Item suggested for future meetings.
Those courses that the board would like to require.
What about, where are we at on our bond election?
They'll be here in July on the board meeting to talk about.
Okay, what about our money that we got to tear down the old junior high? What are we gonna do with all that?
I'll give you, what's his name's contact. No, so we.
I'm scared of that going through the cracks though, you know what I'm saying, and then we never get paid
The
again.
money's still earmarked for Clay, we've not lost the money.
I didn't say that, I didn't
Oh,
mean
I
it to
know,
sound
but I
like
mean,
that.
it's like, they put us off another year until we get a new contractor, right?
Yeah, our contractor dropped us, and then he's asking for all this stuff with the new guy. He just got back to us the other day saying he needed something else. So it's a never, it's a revolving door.
Just a cluster.
Yeah, it's bad. Tim's like, we'll just leave it in, we'll enough.
Yikes.
But we have the money, so we need to.
We have
Oh,
money,
yeah.
it's earmarked, and thank goodness it's there. We just gotta get all the requirements for PSFA.
For free?
Zach, what about, we talked about, considering possibly, moving some money at the end of the financial year, and we talked about if we have to put a bid out, I don't know. Now we're to the end of the fiscal year,
For the bank,
yes.
yeah, we can open up bids and start requesting bids.
Does that have to happen, does that have to be a bid, or?
Yeah, it has to.
Okay.
You have to
We
post
we
it.
can't sole source them, like,
Right.
they're the only one here, we could go straight to that.
Gotcha.
You have to post it out in the media, and then work so many days and open up in front of the board. You can do that any month. You don't have a certain time of the year you have to do that. So we'll bring that back to the board to say, do we want to post to see if any other banks want to do our.
I think we should consider it.
I think we should too, I think you're supposed to every so long, aren't
Every
you?
4 years.
It's been longer now. So, we definitely should do it.
We can down the next agenda.
What else? What you got, Lawrence? I'm feeling it. I know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna drive home and I'm gonna be like, dang it. Forgot that thing.
You can bring it up.
Can't think about it right now. I don't know what it is.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Vice President, I move to adjourn.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Wow, that was
maybe the fastest.
That
it's ever
was
gone.
record
Great job,
pace.
Morris.
Way to go.
Way to push it along by